All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. That's right. The Niners have added a brand new cornerback. We're going to tell you all about him coming up next. First, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. Get some brisket. Get some brisket chili. Tell them the Krug sent you. We're also brought to you by Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, along the Monterey Peninsula. Thanks to Anthony Catania. He's at 831-521-5264. And Claudaddy Arcades is sponsoring this video. Claudaddy Arcades is bringing family-friendly fun to communities across California. Follow Claudaddy at Claw_Daddy_Arcades and find a location near you. He's got 3 locations in Southern California, plus spots in Fresno and Modesto, and a new location coming to the Bay Area, Claudaddy Arcades. And thanks to them for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. All right. Well, one of the stories on this Friday is that the Niners have claimed a cornerback off waivers from the LA Rams. It's Trevius Hodges Tomlinson, who played corner. Now he's with the Niners. He played collegiately at TCU. He was a 3-time all-conference player at TCU. He won the Jim Thorpe Award in 2022 as the best defensive back in the country. So he's only 25. He's a 5'9", 177-pound corner. He went to Midway High School in Waco and then went to TCU. He's the nephew of LaDainian Tomlinson. So as a freshman at TCU, he played 12 games. He had 8 tackles. Became a starter as a sophomore in 2020, started all 10 games. In 2021, in 12 games, he had 41 tackles, 2 picks, and a touchdown. And then he won the Jim Thorpe Award in 2022 as the best defensive back in all of college football. So first-team All-American in 2022. Rams took him, and he was drafted by the Rams in the 6th round, 182nd overall of the 23 draft, and appeared in 15 games as a rookie. And then they placed him on IR in August of this year with an injury. And then the Rams just waived him yesterday, and the Niners pick him off waivers. So, as I said, small guy, they list him at 5'9". He's probably more like 5'7", 5'8". His official pre-draft measurables were 5'7" and 5/8, 178 pounds. And he ran his 40 in 4.41 seconds. Really quick. So he's got a great 10-yard split, 1.50 on the 10-yard split. That's Tyreek Hill category. I mean, that's really, really quick. 39-inch vertical, that's a fat number. That's a huge number. That's got to be 90th percentile. Broad jump of 11 feet. So he's got those lower body explosion. And he's not weak. 12 reps at 225. So, interesting football player for sure. Spent his whole career thus far with the Rams. And now the Niners, because they had waiver priority, claim him. And, he's an interesting player. As I said, he's the nephew of Hall of Fame running back LaDainian Tomlinson. At Midway High School, he was first-team all-district. Played in 12 games, as I said, as a true freshman. At TCU, and just got better and better and better. Eventually became the nation's top defensive back in 2022. First team AP All-American in 2022. First team All-Conference. He recorded 18 passes defensed, 3 interceptions, 15 pass breakups, 50 tackles in 15 starts. So he's got an incredible athletic profile. And he's got ball production. Like, if you look at him, he's not just like some big, he's not big, he's small, but he's not just one of these guys that has great measurables as far as speed, but has no ability to play the position. He's got great ball production. So this is a guy that can come in and compete for potentially a starting spot, maybe a backup spot as your nickel corner. He's an aggressive player. He's an explosive player. He's twitchy. There's no question. He's a twitchy athlete, very sudden, very quick. Will get up and hound receivers. He's a guy. I mean, all of these positions in the NFL, if you're going to excel, it's one thing to be good in college. If you're going to excel in the pros, you got to really work on your technique. And here's a guy that had so many physical gifts movement wise that I think his technique was pretty raw coming out of TCU. But he's definitely a guy who will come up and play the run despite not having the biggest frame, solid against the run. Some of the bigger receivers are going to, jump right over him, and he's going to have a hard time holding his own against the big receivers. But you're talking about a truly top level athlete, super explosive, super twitchy, great competitor, only allowed a 34.6% completion rate when targeted in 2022, according to PFF. He's got really quick feet. He can slide and shade the release. He's really great, as you would expect, on the short stuff. He takes away the short stuff. He takes away the intermediate routes. He's really good. And he's very, very competitive at the catch point. He's got a great closing burst. He 41 passes defensed in 4 seasons at TCU, 18 in 1 year. So this kid's tough. He's scrappy in run support. He'll give you everything he's got. He doesn't have big size, so the bigger targets are going to bother him. He doesn't have a lot of bend on his back pedal, so he's not like in that crouch ready to turn. He's a little bit upright. He definitely could do better as far as recognizing routes and that kind of thing. He was penalized a lot in 2022, 14 penalties. That's way too many. So he has sometimes will have a hard time coming off blocks. He doesn't get off blocks consistently. So there's that. But I mean, this is a guy who, the 49ers are getting ready for free agency and they're looking for bargains. And to me, Trey Tomlinson is absolutely a bargain. He's 24 years old, former 5th round pick, super, super athletic. He's only got 1 year of playing experience in the league. He had 15 games as a rookie in 2023. Then he missed all of this last year because they put him on IR during the preseason. So, he hasn't played a whole lot. And the Niners' depth at this position has been depleted. They have Demo Lenore and they have Renardo Green. Those are their 2 starters. But Mooney Ward's leaving. I mean, Mooney Ward is leaving in free agency. Isaac Yiadom, Rock Ya-Sin, Nick McLeod, they're also going to hit the market. Now, I think the Niners may bring back McLeod because he's a good special teamer. But if you look at what the Niners have at corner, they have Lenore, they have Renardo Green, and then they have Darrell Luter Jr., and now they have Tomlinson and Trey Avery. That's it. So, this was a really, really good college football player who's not big, but is a good player. And I think he's going to wind up playing well for the Niners. So this was the first defensive addition the Niners have made since Robert Saleh has come aboard. And so Saleh is returning as the defensive coordinator, a role that he held in San Francisco from 2017 through 2020. And, it will be interesting to see what Saleh does. In New York, he had Sauce. Sauce Gardner's big and rangy and dominant, and he had DJ Reed. And I don't know if he will try to add to the Niners secondary. Some of the draft people think that Will Johnson is going to be the Niners pick at 11. So, one thing, no matter what the Niners do up front, they have to get their defensive backfield set. And there's going to be a lot of turnover. I mean, the Niners have 23 unrestricted free agents, 11 of those on the defensive side of the ball. And that doesn't include Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, who the Niners released in February. So, I mean, the Niners are coming off of a 4th place NFC West finish, and it snapped their 3-year playoff streak. And 3 years in a row, they'd gone to at least the NFC Championship game, and they're looking to get back there. So I like this move. To me, this is a no-cost move and one that has a lot of upside. You're gambling on a smaller player, doesn't have a lot of experience, but has an incredible athletic profile. And maybe you can catch lightning in a bottle. I mean, what do you think the Jets did? How do you think they found Jamie and Sherwood? Caught lightning in a bottle. And sometimes you have to take a shot on guys who have great athletic traits and have had success. Once again, we talked about this a lot. What is the best approach to personnel? And to me, the best approach is when you can marry two traits, production and athleticism. If you can find a guy who has off the charts production, that's great. That means he's a good player. If you can then find the guy who's got off the charts production, who's also an NFL caliber athlete, that's what you're looking for. That's the target. And that's what they're hitting here. This guy's small, but he's got great speed, great jumping ability, great explosiveness. And he was the Thorpe Award winner in college. So that means he was the best defensive back in the country. And he has 39-inch vert. And he runs, a great 40 time. And he's got a 1.50 10-yard split. And he's got major athletic traits. And he had huge success at the college level. And he's not old. Those are the guys you want. If you can check the box, awesome athlete, awesome college production, draft that guy, add that guy. And that's essentially what they did here with Tomlinson. So I love it. I think Trey Tomlinson's a good ad. The price was right, and there's nothing but upside to this edition. All right, thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Claudaddy Arcades for sponsoring this video. Thanks to Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles for sponsoring us as well. And thanks to all of you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.